South Park has been around for decades, and in that time, it's given us some of the most iconic characters in TV history. Some of them are absolute fan favorites, wholesome, funny, or just flat out legendary. And others, well, let's just say they deserve every ounce of hate they get. So today we're putting them head to head, the most loved versus the most hated characters in South Park. Let's jump in, Chris and Linda Stotch. Let's kick things off with the worst parents in TV history. Butters' mom and dad, Chris and Linda Stotch. These two aren't just strict, they're straight up abusive, neglectful, and at times homicidal. When Butters goes missing, they don't even look for him. They assume he's dead and start auditioning replacements like they're shopping for a new pet. Linda even tries to drown him in a car while Chris always yells, dismisses, and punishes his kid for stuff he didn't even do.
It looks like the car's filling up with water.
But here's the kicker. Their awfulness is also what makes us love Butters even more. Because somehow, despite being raised by these two clowns, he grows into the sweetest, most optimistic kid in South Park, Butters Stotch. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we've got their son, the human golden retriever of South Park, Butters Stotch. If there were a Purest Soul award, he'd win it every time. Fans love Butters because no matter how much life or his awful parents knock him down, he bounces back with a smile. He's polite, naive in the most adorable way, and always just trying his best. His doomed crush on Lexus shows it perfectly. He falls hard, pours his heart out, and gets crushed. Yet even in heartbreak, Butters delivers one of the show's deepest lines. It's better to feel pain than nothing at all. That's philosopher-level wisdom from an 8-year-old in a yellow shirt.
Something can make me feel that sad. It's like, it makes me feel alive, you know?
Butters is the kind of character that reminds you why South Park works so well. He's silly, awkward, and often the butt of the joke, but he also has these rare moments of honesty that hit harder than anything Cartman or Stan could ever say. And that's why he's hands down one of the most loved characters in the entire series, Terrence and Phillip. Now that we've had our hearts warmed by Butters, let's swing back to the other side. The hated crew. And who better to drag us straight into fart joke territory than Terrence and Phillip? Here's the thing, these two are the most divisive characters in South Park history. For some fans, their childish humor is hilarious, but for a lot of others, they're just unbearable. I mean, let's be real. Even the boys in the show sometimes act like watching Terrence and Phillip is a guilty pleasure, not a proud hobby. Season 5's Terrence and Phillip Behind the Blow is basically an entire episode that pokes fun at just how thin their comedy is. The boys desperately want to see them live, only to realize, yeah, maybe Earth Day speeches would have been a better option. Watching the duo bicker about pudding and hair plugs on stage isn't exactly groundbreaking entertainment.
He's shot dead!
What's the person's name?
Who?
The guy that farted.
Who?
The person that passed gas.
And that's why they land so low in fan rankings. They're not evil like Cartman or abusive like Chris and Linda, but they're obnoxious, one note, and exist mostly to gross everyone out. Love them or hate them, Terrence and Phillip represent South Park at its dumbest. And for many fans, that's not a compliment. Randy Marsh. Alright, enough with the fart jokes, now it's time to lift things back up with a loved character. And who better than the man, the myth, the drunk legend, Randy Marsh. Randy started out as just Stan's dad, a background adult like any other. But somewhere along the way, Trey Parker and Matt Stone realized they'd struck comedy gold. Randy evolved into the ultimate middle-aged suburban dad. Clueless, dramatic, and constantly turning tiny problems into life-changing catastrophes. Think about With Apologies to Jesse Jackson, where he screams the N-word on national TV, or when he becomes the hero of the Lord of the Rings parody because he's the only one who can properly battle a certain questionable video. And of course, we can't forget Tegrity Farms. Randy literally turns into a weed mogul and somehow makes it feel completely natural for his character.
Yeah?
Whoa,
Yeah?
I don't know what integrity is, but that is some good shit.
All right!
What makes Randy so loved is that he's basically every dad dialed up to 100. Embarrassing, overconfident, and absolutely convinced he's the main character of life itself. Whether he's fighting other dads at Little League games or screaming, "I thought this was America's shirtless," Randy has become a cornerstone of South Park's humor.
You want me to kick your ass right here?
Randy, sit down.
You want a piece of me? Because I'm pretty sick of your goddamn mouth.
He's not perfect, he's not noble, but he's always hilarious. And for that, fans can't help but love him, Gerald Broflovsky. Back to the dark side with one of South Park's most unexpectedly hated characters, Gerald Broflovsky, Kyle's dad. For years, he was just the reasonable dad. A little preachy, but nothing too wild. Then season 20 dropped the bomb. Gerald was actually the infamous internet troll Skankhunt42. All that online chaos, ruined relationships, and even international conflict. Yep, that was Gerald cackling at his computer. What really sealed the hate was how smug he was about it, acting like a genius when he was really just South Park's oldest edgelord. Fans went from seeing him as harmless to hating his guts almost overnight, Mr. Hanky. Now let's swing back to the good side with one of the weirdest and most beloved characters ever to crawl out of Trey Parker and Matt Stone's brains, Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh. First introduced in season 1, Mr. Hanky is, well, literally a talking piece of poop who comes out every Christmas to spread holiday cheer. He sings, he dances, and he's basically South Park's twisted version of Santa Claus. And somehow, despite the whole "he lives in the sewer" thing, fans loved him.
Merry Christmas, Kyle Broflovsky!
Mr. Hanky's charm comes from how over-the-top wholesome he tries to be while still being, you know, a lump of excrement. He hands out life lessons, cheers up the kids, and always shows up when things are looking bleak. Plus, his Christmas songs are burned into the memories of every fan, whether you like it or not. Sure, by later seasons, the show leaned into his flaws. The offensive tweet storyline pretty much tanked his reputation. But for most of us, Mr. Hanky is a nostalgic reminder of classic South Park. Gross, cheerful, and somehow heartwarming all at once.
Mr. Hanky?
Oh, Kyle!
PC Principal. Back on the hated side, we've got PC Principal. When he showed up in season 19, South Park basically nuked its own formula. Out went small-town teacher humor, in came a frat bro social justice enforcer with sunglasses glued to his face. At first, he worked as a sharp parody of outrage culture. The problem was when he stuck around, what was funny as a one-off became hijacking storylines and swapping South Park's classic vibe for heavy-handed lectures.
Now it's time for the final test. So what you're gonna have to do to prove you belong with PC is go out there and check someone's privilege.
Sure, some viewers enjoy him as a chaotic, over-the-top caricature, but for many, PC Principal is less fun new character and more, why are you still here? That's why he sits firmly on the hated list. Eric Cartman. I've saved the best for last. Eric Theodore Cartman. Sure, he's racist, manipulative, selfish, and probably the spawn of Satan, but he's also the soul of South Park's comedy. From the very beginning, Cartman's been the show's secret weapon. He's the kind of character who can get away with saying the most unthinkable things and somehow it's still funny. Whether it's feeding Scott Tenorman's parents to him in Chile, dressing up as Osimo, or convincing people he's a psychic detective, Cartman always delivers chaos with perfect comedic timing.
This kid is totally not cool.
Yeah, that's the most uncool kid I've ever met. Little crybaby.
What makes him so loved is that he's not just mean for the sake of being mean. He's smart, cunning, and disturbingly creative in ways no other kid in South Park is. Honestly, without Cartman, the show wouldn't even exist in the same way. Trey and Matt know it, and fans definitely know it too.
So that I could tell you personally about your parents' demise. And of course, feed you your chili. Do you like it? Do you like it, Scott?
So yes, he's objectively horrible, but he's also objectively hilarious. And for that reason, Cartman isn't just a loved South Park character, he's a legendary one. And there you have it, the most loved and the most hated characters in all of South Park. From the heartwarming weirdness of Mr. Hanky to the chaos-inducing menace of Eric Cartman, the show has given us a lineup of characters we'll never forget, whether we wanted to or not. What makes South Park so special is exactly this, the extremes. For every character you can't stand, there's another who makes you laugh, cheer, or even tear up just a little. It's crude, it's messy, but at the end of the day, it's South Park, and that's why we keep coming back. But now I want to hear from you. Who's your most loved and most hated character? Did I nail the picks, or did I miss someone who deserves a spot? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this trip down to South Park, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more. Until next time, howdy ho everyone.